Right now on KGW, what some are calling a win for the state of Oregon and the community of Newport, as a judge orders a Coast Guard helicopter returned to the port city. Plus,
response crews are working 24/7 to try to figure out where the leak is. They have dug up about 200 feet of pipeline to try to do this.
Oregon declares a state of emergency over a leaking fuel pipeline. We take a look at the impact to your wallet and why experts say there's no need to panic yet. Then later.
I should not be picking up students at all.
So new details about a controversial arrest involving a local high school student as federal agents defend their actions and the community calls for unity. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm China Green. We have Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by for a look at your weather and traffic.
You are here, Chris. I didn't see you. I was like, where's Chris?
I'm very quiet.
He did ask.
He's been very quiet this morning. Yes, all right. Let's get you going. Right now, we're all dry. What the radar is picking up, the only reason I'm showing you is in the last 3 hours where it starts to pick up action. That's actually, none of this is reaching ground, but it is a sign that the cloudiness is getting lower and thicker, and rain is eventually going to be moving in this morning. This has been kind of foggy back and forth, but right now visibility's improved. That's great. Look at the state capitol in Salem this morning. It's 40 degrees. Here's downtown Portland, overcast skies, similar temperature with light winds, and 41. It looks to me like somewhere around mid-morning we start to pick up slowly light rain, and then by the time we're to noon and then into the afternoon and into this evening, it's just a straight shot of steady rain falling. Nothing stormy, but steady rain for your afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures in the 40s. Here's Chris.
All right, so now's the best time to be on the roads, I guess. And as we look at the roads, there's your trip out of Clark County on I-5. I-5 at SR 14, zipping along just fine. If you're making the early morning, or I guess at this point, a mid-morning flight out at PDX, here's a look at the drive coming off the Glen Jackson Bridge. The headlights here, southbound 205, so that's the exit to Airport Way. That looks pretty good. I haven't seen any major trouble, by the way, at PDX in terms of departures and delays at this point. Over to the west side, Highway 26 out near Cedar Hills Boulevard. The headlights there, you can see them all the way out towards Murray Boulevard there. Traffic zipping along just fine. China, we're off to a speed limit clip on this Tuesday morning.
Thank you, Chris. We are continuing to cover a developing story along the Oregon coast. Last night, a judge ruled that the federal government must immediately return a Coast Guard helicopter to Newport. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us in the newsroom. So Thomas, what else do we know about this ruling?
Well, China, this is a temporary restraining order to return the chopper as the case proceeds. Both the state of Oregon and Lincoln County sued to get the helicopter back. It's been stationed in Newport since 1987, but was moved 70 miles down the coast last month. Newport residents were alarmed by the move. Crabbing season, which is a big part of the industry there, begins soon, and it's really dangerous work. Local officials say the helicopter conducts dozens of rescue operations every year. We spoke to people in Newport right before the judge's ruling. Here's what one person had to say.
Not asking for anything but the status quo, what we have had, the safety we have had for 40 years, and we're asking that this happen immediately, not when they're able to.
The federal government moved the helicopter after local officials learned federal agents were looking at the Newport airport as a possible location for a new ICE detention facility. In a statement before the ruling, Homeland Security said these efforts to, quote, micromanage Coast Guard operations are completely intrusive and obstruct the work of the service's men and women, end quote. The judge's temporary restraining order will last 2 weeks, though key note here, China, it could be extended.
Thomas, thank you for that. A Tiger woman is facing charges accused of trying to interfere with an ICE arrest in Tigard. Agents accused a 37-year-old of pushing an officer on Sunday, hitting his vehicle with her hands, and then eventually slamming the car door, hitting the officer's arm. Meanwhile, an update. Federal agents now say they detained the McMinnville High School student that we reported on yesterday for obstructing officers. On Friday, Border Patrol agents say the 17-year-old was driving a truck and, along with another vehicle, barricaded them in. That led agents to arrest both drivers. The teenager is a U.S. citizen, and his arrest sparked protests over the weekend and a walkout at the high school on Monday. According to the McMinnville School District, that student was at lunch off campus at the time he was arrested. The teen was released Friday night. So far, the 17-year-old hasn't been charged. DHS says this is not an isolated incident and it's part of a, quote, dangerous trend of people using their vehicles to obstruct Border Patrol officers at work. And in response to that McMinnville High School student's arrest following the confrontation with federal immigration agents, the superintendent of nearby Dayton School is encouraging community support for students concerned about immigration enforcement. So in a Facebook post, she asked residents to stand outside their homes as children walk to and from school each day. The superintendent said some students have expressed fear after hearing about the arrest. She's asking neighbors to step out at 8:15 a.m. and 3:15 p.m. on weekdays to show support.
When it comes to protecting kids and being safe, the community, drops all that, and it's one for all, and the kids are the most important.
Neighbors near the high school say they support the superintendent's effort. One resident said a group is also organizing a list of neighbors who can help give students rides to and from school if their parents are unable to. Multnomah County commissioners are working on a solution for a deflection center that some worry is not worth the money. So you may remember the center in the Buckman neighborhood is where some people caught with hard drugs can choose to be connected with treatment instead of going to jail. But data shows less than 2 people per day on average were referred to the center in its first year. And of those referred, only 1 in 5 actually received some sort of service. On the latest episode of The Story, Commissioner Shannon Singleton spoke with Blair Best about some of the changes that she's proposing. That includes expanding who can be sent to the deflection center and allowing all shelter providers to refer people.
As a former outreach worker, I know that I had lots of clients who were asking for support to get sober, and right now they are not able to refer their clients into the program. There are some expanded referrals, like some peer services or Portland Street Response, but I think we need to go even bigger than that because there are people who do want to seek recovery.
You can watch Blair's full interview with Commissioner Singleton on the newest episode of The Story, available on our free TV streaming app, KGW+. All right, taking a live look now at the giant martini glass illuminating Portland's West Hill. You know it, you love it. For years, the martini glass being lit has marked the unofficial start to the holiday season. According to the Oregonian, the display was built back in the mid to late 70s. And I feel like, Rod, that's something that if you're not from here, you drive in and you're like, what is that? And then still, if you live here for 10 years, you're like, what is that?
It definitely, it's almost become a part of our, holiday background.
It's a staple.
It's like the Made in Oregon sign in downtown, in Old Town, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a staple. There it is, close-up shot. Got the olive, the toothpick, you got it all. All right, satellite radar. Today is the day that rain eventually moves in, becomes widespread and steady. I think all of your afternoon plans will be with steady rain. All of your evening plans will be underneath steady rain coming down as well. Here's the moisture fetch out in the Pacific, and we talked earlier that so far we don't have any rain reaching the ground. It's what, 5:08 right now. I think somewhere around 8, 9 o'clock this morning, we start to at least feel a little bit of light moisture coming out of the clouds, and then by noon, or actually before noon, it's just absolutely raining across the entire region. You see the clouds are spreading across our state. It doesn't look like there's any measurable rain in central Oregon today. Later today, we do expect some of that moisture to make it all the way through the gorge and out toward the blues. There's the good visibility of our state capital this morning. Just kind of a typical chilly start. 40 is the number. We have light winds. Good visibility from the Wells Fargo building in Portland as well, and a similar temperature, 41. Anybody really cool? With the cloud cover, you typically get uniform temperatures, and that's what we have here. 39 Sandy, 41 Tiger, 41 West Grove, right? All within just a couple degrees of each other. And in the Mid-Valley, same story. Silverton's a little bit cooler at 36, but there's Salem 40, Albany 38, and Corvallis at 38 degrees. All right, the map. So this afternoon, it's going to be raining up and down the coast, the valley. Notice this shows Timberline at 29. Timberline will get snowed today. I talked about this yesterday. We'll be watching the temperatures over the Cascade Passes Day. It's at least possible there's a period of snow before snow levels start to go up. Check conditions before you go. There's some late day showers over the blues, but dry in central and dry in southeastern Oregon. So once the rain starts today, it's not going to be raining every single second, but raining more than that tomorrow. And Thanksgiving Day is now looking increasingly like an occasional rainy day as well, 54 degrees. And then fairly dry on Friday. I know Matt last night had Saturday completely dry. The modeling just hasn't been consistent. So we'll hold on and see what happens. Sunday into Monday, east winds, dry weather. Absolutely. That's your update.
Thank you, Rod.